You can see the smile on my face, so this is going to be a good one. A whole bunch of questions, a whole bunch of am I the asshole things. So like or subscribe on this video. My joint fell between the cracks, so let me get this out real quick. But we're going to start it off really fast. So again, you have time to sit there and just like and subscribe on this video. But a whole bunch of us is just going to be, am I the asshole? And also, ask men. I love asking men and men asking me questions. So here we go. If we got time, like I said, like and subscribe. First question is going to be, men, and my man Neo asks this, men who knowingly have slept with married women, what pushed them to do it? What was the results? And there's two on this one, two response back. And the first one says that, this is a simple one and it's sad because this is just sad. My man says he's in an open relationship with his wife of 5 years, right? With his wife for 5 years. And she was the one who wanted the open relationship. And he says that he slept with one person in 5 years. He's only slept with one person in 5 years. That's pretty modest. It's not a lot. It's not too great. Obviously, you're doing something that you're not trying. But he says that his wife goes out 4 times a week with 4 different dudes. Jeez, with different dudes. And he says that the best thing he can do is either be with her and have sex with her 3 times a week, or leave her and then he'll have nothing. That is sad. I feel like she would respect you more if you just left her. I think she would respect you more as a man if you just left her, rather than giving you pity fucks. Jeez. This man's is so fucking depressing. His confidence runs deep as a fucking puddle. Absolutely sad, brother. And I'm sorry for you, man. You just have to sit there and just leave, buddy. You have to leave that situation. I'd rather be alone forever, for real. There's no need for me to be in a situation like that. 3 times a week is the best thing I can do. That fucking sucks, man. Yeah, a lot of y'all do that, where y'all want to do these open relationships. But the thing is, you have to understand, like, ladies get talked to. A good looking woman will get talked to 3 times a day. 3 times a day. There's 7 days in a week. There's 7 days in a week. Okay. There's 7 days in a week. That means that she gets talked to 21 times. Like, she meets 21 men throughout the week. And you will probably have one girl talk to you in a year? It's asinine. So what can you do? How can you win that situation? You can't. That's a situation that you have to leave. You can't win that situation. All right. So now here's some "Am I the asshole?" response. And the first one is this. We're gonna like this is a super long video. This is just gonna be the simple situations of these people's life. Says my man says he's 17 years old. He was adopted. He was adopted by his parents. By his parents. These are his foster parents, Peter and Jane. When he was 4 years old. They've always been open about my adoption. I've never felt like they've treated me any differently because of it. They have 2 other kids. Jeez, that fucking sucks. You're in a situation where you can't win, but it's a better situation because you were adopted. I mean, all right, can I see? I never felt like we've always been a close family. I've always been considered Peter and Jane to be my real parents. They're not your real parents, buddy. And everyone in the house knows it. But last week I had an argument with my 12-year-old brother. And I can't remember even what started it. But in the middle of it, he said, Mom and Dad aren't even your real parents. Hearing that from him hurt me more than I can explain. I've always seen him as my little brother and never knew him say something. He's 12 years old, bro. And he's a boy. He doesn't understand what he's sitting there saying. Um, Afterwards, I went to Peter and Jane expecting them to be upset as I was. But instead of grounding him or making him apologize, they just said he didn't mean and probably never realized how hurtful it was. made me feel like it wasn't important. Since then, I've been calling them by their first name instead of mom and dad. I know it's getting on their nerves because they've asked me to stop, but I refused. I told them I'll stop when they either punish my brother or at least make them apologize for what they said. Brother, you're 17 years old. You're going to lose out in a situation that you've already benefited from. You better shut the fuck up and suck it up. I don't even want to read more of this nonsense. Absolute nonsense, guy. That's some weak shit. All right. Here's another one. This is Miss Farah. She says, would I be an asshole if I didn't give my late boyfriend's house to his parents? Yes, you're already being an asshole. If you even have to ask that question, you're being an asshole. My boyfriend was 30, RIP to me. He died when he was 30. She's 33 years old. We were together for 15 years. I was a senior in high school. We used to give the house to his parents, 15 years. I don't know. I think that's something that you guys will have to sit there and work out in equity, okay? When he came out as gay at 17. Okay, my bad. This is not a lady. This is Farah. He's calling himself a guy, whatever. Farah's a guy. My family took him in and I helped him finish high school, and we were supportive the most they could. I worked in HR, he worked in IT. Since he started in work, he became good money. He saved enough to purchase a house 10 years ago. He was paying a mortgage all by himself. That doesn't make any sense at all right there. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense at all right there. That doesn't make any sense at all right there. Why would he be paying a mortgage all by himself if you guys are together? 4 years ago, he got diagnosed and he reduced his work and got to take care of his health. And I stepped in to pay the mortgage. It was a hard battle, but the cancer took him back in March. After he passed away, I'm sorry for your loss. His family appeared into the picture, saying how they regret being in their son's life. Then time went to a month ago, he reached out to me, inspected when I can give them the keys to the house and said the house as their family. I told them that the house is in my name. I bought it from him a year ago into the cancer, so legally it'd be mine. I've been paying the mortgage for that. They got upset and said I was being unreasonable. That it should be legally theirs, and that my boyfriend would have wanted them to give them the house, which is in fact true. My boyfriend talked a lot how he would give everything to them if it could fix the relationship between them. Actually, he bought the house as a way to bring them, is he misprint, bring them to live with him, so they would no longer rent. Oh, this is getting deeper. He also tried to make amends with them all the time, but was unsuccessfully. I told him that, so I told them that I would give them the house for the price that I bought it from my boyfriend. They would have to pay me back 4 years of mortgage plus take over the debt over their name. They said they didn't have the money and that it was selfish for me to tell them that. Knowing that my boyfriend would have wanted it, they proposed to just change the debt into their name and give me no money in return. I declined. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. That doesn't make any sense either. So you're not wrong there. At least you tried to give them the house or sell them the house. That's absolutely fine. That's no problem there. So you're not the asshole there. I told them I would give them the house back. Yeah, hold on. Says they got said I declined. They got mad and got into a heated discussion to the point they were told to bring the squirt and accused me of scamming my boyfriend. They can't do that. I mean, you're in control of the house. You're there. They can't do that anyway. They have been calling and texting nonstop for the past month, telling me that I would be an asshole to my boyfriend if I don't give them the house. So you already should block them because you guys should already be going through legal contact with the lawyer because you guys have already talked about court. I know they can't pay me all the money I put into the house, but I'm conflicted right now. Some of my friends told me that I should just give them the house and move on with my life, but this just doesn't feel right to me. If this is the case, then y'all should just sell the house and you should just take the money and go from there. And if they can't, I mean, you could always split the proceeds, but I wouldn't split the proceeds so far. Right now, the words feel empty and they just feel like they just want to take advantage of the situation. I don't need the house, to be honest. I don't want to give them to them either. We never talked with my boyfriend should do with the house after his death. So would I be the asshole if I don't give them the house? So, like I said, I don't think you'd be an asshole. And I do have my real estate license. So I don't think you would be an asshole for doing it. I think it's a sticky situation. And I think if you haven't had a relationship with his parents either, then they can't judge you for the way that you feel. The way that you feel is valid. I mean, there's no disputing that. The way that you feel is valid. You feel that way for a reason. And it's not because of um, being malicious. It's not that because you wouldn't feel conflicted. So you can tell that you're not being malicious. So the moderator says this. He pulled out one thing is this. And you know what? I just don't think you'll be an asshole. I think that you guys could work out an agreement. If you guys can't work out an agreement one more time around verbally, then it just needs to go to the court if that's the case, or you need to sit there and just stop contact. Okay? Because even in the state of Ohio, the law is like when I was having my real estate in Ohio, the law is this: the person who occupies the house in a relationship owns the house. Because let's say, and that's when you get married. And if let's say if you guys were together for after a while, and you lived in that house, if there's no lease and you've been taking over it, let's say now you already said the debt is in your name. You've taken over the debt. You bought the house from him. This is your responsibility. You did this. This is yours. Anyway, the person pulls out. He says, "Not the asshole. He would have given them the house in his life because he missed them that much. They refused to do anything with him, even though he was dying. If he would give them the house now, then they benefit from him, even though they rejected him when they're alive. You keep the house because you're the one who loved your boyfriend. You owe his terrible family nothing, who kicked him out at 17. I mean, I will block them and just keep moving. I mean, if not, get a solicitor to go send them a cease and desist letter and take them to court for harassment and extortion. This is absolutely ridiculous. And tried to sell them in the house was a little too much. But I mean, you did it out of the night, and I understand that you don't need the house, but the thing is, no, you don't do that. And do something nice like this. You can sit there and sell the house and do a benefit into his name. That would sit there and benefit people more than what that would be given in the house. Like these are two narcissistic people and selfish people. You don't kick your kid out because they're a little homoerotic. They're homeowners. You don't kick them out for that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.